Hey guys, Thomas Joseph here, and today I'm sharing with you 4 must-have grilling tips for this summer grilling season. I'm indoors, of course, but any of these tips you can apply to outdoor grilling. The first 2 tips, I'm gonna start here with steaks. Getting a nice hot sear and removing it from that direct heat to indirect heat once it gets a nice crust, so that it can finish cooking without burning. So in front of me, I have a 10-ounce strip steak here. This is about 1 inch in thickness. And what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna heat my grill pan, or heat your grill up to a nice medium-high heat. And a way to gauge whether or not your grill is hot enough is to actually use your hand to sense the heat. You don't want your hand to be able to last there for very long. So what this is telling me right now is that I need to let my grill pan heat up just a little bit more. So while this is heating, I'm going to take a paper towel with a little bit of canola oil, grapeseed oil, any neutral oil that can go to a high heat, and you want to brush your grates of your grill with this oil, and this will help in preventing any food from sticking. Now, if you're outside on your barbecue with a direct flame, use a pair of tongs here, very important. Now, I'm gonna flip my steak. Whenever you're grilling something that's quite thick, you wanna make sure that you liberally season it, because the majority of the seasoning is actually going to fall off the steak. So my grill is nice and hot. I can only keep my hand there for a few seconds so you know that it's ready to grill. And I'm going to place my steak on a diagonal so I get some nice grill marks. Now, what happens if you place your meat on a cold grill? In front of me, I have 2 versions. A steak that has been grilled on a cool grill to start off with, which gives you this gray exterior. Because what's actually happening is the meat is steaming, it's not searing. So you get a gray outside to your steak, when really what you're looking for is a dark crust like the version I have here. And what you need to do is start off with a really, really hot grill. So it's been about 2 minutes. I'm gonna rotate the steak now so that I get those wonderful grill marks, and another 2 minutes before I flip it on its other side. You can see that it has really nice grill marks here. And again, we're gonna do another 2 minutes, and then we're gonna shift it in another 2 minutes more. I'm going to take my steak off of the grill and transfer this now to an indirect heat. Now, since I'm indoors, indirect heat means the oven. But if you're using a gas grill or a charcoal grill, you're gonna wanna shift the heat to the exterior of your grill. So that means you turn off the middle knob and you finish cooking the steak in the center of the grill. It creates almost like an oven to finish cooking. Since I'm transferring this to the oven, I like to make sure that I use a rack on top of a sheet tray so that the steak doesn't steam on the bottom. Now, this should be used whenever you're making something that's really thick, like a pork chop, a bone-in chicken breast, or a thick steak like this. So that is must-have grill tip number 2, finishing on indirect heat. Must-have tip number 3, how to avoid flare-ups, because flare-ups on the grill can give you this blackened exterior when all you're really looking for is a wonderfully brown exterior like this burger here. Now, how do you avoid that? Well, when it comes to burgers, you want to make sure that the fat ratio isn't too great and that you don't coat the food in too much marinade, and that will help to prevent flare-ups. Now, for a burger, I'm gonna season just as I did the steak. I've oiled my grill, not the meat, and I'm going to place my burgers right on the heat. So that is your must-have grilling tip number 3, avoiding flare-ups. For grilling tip number 4, we're tackling the kebabs. Whenever you're using wooden skewers, you want to make sure that you soak them for at least 30 minutes so that the wood does not burn on your grill. The second tip would be arranging your vegetables, your meats on their own skewers so that they can cook evenly. And then the third tip is using 2 skewers. During the cooking process, the hole that's created by the kebab gets bigger, so your food starts rotating around the skewer. Has that ever happened to you? So when you go and actually try to flip it on your grill, the food itself doesn't flip. Well, this is a sure way to avoid that because the whole thing will just flip over nicely. Another helpful tip for making kebabs is that whatever you're grilling, you want the size to be a little bit greater than 1 inch, because if they're too small, they're gonna fall off your skewers. So now I'm gonna season these up with a little bit of salt and pepper. And so these go right onto your oiled grill. and now you know your vegetables will cook evenly because they're all together, your shrimp will cook evenly because that's together, and you will have perfectly cooked and easy to flip kebabs for your summer barbecue. With these great grilling tips, you'll be able to grill just about anything this summer. Enjoy. Now, if you have any kitchen conundrums that you need solved, write in the comment section below or reach out to us using the hashtag kitchen conundrums, and we will solve whatever kitchen problems you may have.